G'day folks, welcome to episode 10 of Beginner's Collection Essentials. The cube I'm talking about, or the puzzle I'm talking about here, is the 6x6x6 and specifically the VCube 6. Now, what does that mean? On twistypuzzles.com forum you can't mention other cubes if they're considered knockoffs. Well, this is not twistypuzzles.com forum, this is my channel, and there are knockoffs or things that are considered knockoffs, and this is one of them. This is the Shengxiao 6x6x6. I'm not talking about them. This is a decent cube. There's no problem with this. It turns quite nicely. I don't think it's as good as the VCube 6, which I'm about to focus on. However, it's much better than the original VCube 6, and I'll get into that in a minute. But this is the Shengxiao. So just be aware that you can get Shengxiao cubes. You can get them from Now Store, and you can get them from Cubes, and you can get them from lots of places. They just don't advertise them on their site because they don't want VCubes coming after them, kicking them in the shin. So I'm not talking about that one, I'm talking about the VCube 6. Okay, this is one that's just come out quite recently, and I consider, if you think about the cubes that I've got in the collection so far, I started with the 2, 3, 4 and 5, and I stopped there because I thought they were fairly common and well known. This to me is an absolute must-have in a collection for a couple of reasons. One of them is because it has the parodies and stuff, and it's more interesting than, say, a 7. If I said why not an 8, well, you know, you could go an 8 if you want, but really the 8 just adds the same kind of complexity to this. And you might say, well, hang on, doesn't the 6 add the same sort of complexity to the 4? Yes, it does. The other reason that I think it should be in here is because VCubes revolutionised cubing. And you may disagree with that. That's okay, you're allowed to be wrong, no problem. This, before VCubes produced their stuff, there was no way to make a 6 and beyond. So they came up with something good. So what is this thing? Well, the VCube 6 was invented by a man called Panagiotis Verdes. I don't know how you say Verdes. Verdes? Mr. Verdes was a surveying engineer until he retired in 2003. He doesn't actually look that old if you have a look on the website. He looks like a sprightly young man. What happened is, in 1981 he saw a Rubik's Cube, a standard Rubik's Cube, and this began a secret passion. Now, I'm sure we can all relate to this. This is the sort of thing we don't really want to share around with our co-workers, with our friends, because they all think we're mental. He had this secret passion, and of course, you know, engineers, they don't do stuff with cubes, they drink beer. Everybody knows that. So he saw this Rubik's Cube and started thinking about the problem that you couldn't get a cube of more than 5 layers. What am I talking about? Well, the thing is, mathematically, with the original design of the Rubik's Cube, as soon as you put more cubies in, the corner cubie would not stay connected to the core, and that's why it'll just fall out. You just can't do it. So he started thinking about this, Mr. Verdes. By 1985, he had some drawings of some of his solutions, but he kept quiet. I don't know why. Maybe he was just working hard. Around 2002, 2003, he decided to, produce what he had and took it along to some puzzle things and got a patent for it and all this sort of stuff. And the VCube 6 and the 7 were released in about 2008. I don't know the exact date. I'm pretty sure they were released around the same time, if not at the same time. Now, the initial VCube 6, which I no longer have, was generally considered to be a bit of a dud cube. Not a great cube, and it was a flat one. This is a pillowed one, obviously. It was a flat one, and it turned with a click. Now you might think, isn't the click thing of the Scube really good? Yeah, that one is. This one wasn't. It was clunky, it was, I don't know the words for it, it was just not very good. The 7, on the other hand, turned really well, and there was no problems with that. So the VCube 6, the initial one, wasn't great, and so I think it was last year, late last year, maybe early this year, that VCubes released an updated VCube 6, which is this. I got it and I thought, this has got to be better. Man, it's fantastic. That's right. No problems with turning there. This is absolutely beautiful. Really, really smooth. I'm not a speed solver, as you know, so I can't really tell you whether it's a good speed solving cube, but it turns very nicely. So this is the one that they've released recently. Now I think they've only released a pillowed version of this. So if you're one of these people that likes your world flat, you can't get a flat one yet, I don't think. I couldn't see one on the website. I, of course, have been wrong before, so it may be there. Now, this is an essential part of this collection. I've talked a little bit about why. I think this sort of cube, the VCube thing, revolutionised cubing. So, don't know what you think of VCubes. I know there's been some controversy around them. I don't really care. I just like the cube. So, in terms of the turning and the scrambling, well, you know, this is how it goes. Got some pretty cool colours on the stickers here. I like the colours apart from the light blue, but I won't go off on one of my hobby horse rants like I sometimes do. Okay, so looks pretty good, scrambled up. You don't need to turn it that much to get a decent scramble. No shape shifting, of course, unless you just do that, then it's shape shifted, but you can't turn anymore. So let's just keep scrambling this. And as far as solving goes, I've got tutorials on the site already. But essentially most people, what they would use is reduce the centres, reduce the edges, solve as a 3x3, taking care of the parities that come along the way. If you want to avoid parities, there are methods for doing that. I haven't really looked into it yet. I don't really care. I think the parities are cool and make for a different kind of solve than you get on a 7 or a 5. So there it is, the VCube 6, in my opinion, an essential part of everybody's collection. If you haven't got one, links in the description, you can go and grab it. Thanks for watching.